a few people that aren't very well, so they're not with us either. So those of you that made the effort, well done. We are going to start by singing Come Now Is the Time to Worship. I thought this was a good song to start with as we go into the new year. Now is the time to worship. Now is the time to give your heart. Our time of prayer, we've joined together in singing this lovely chorus. Abba Father, let me be yours and yours alone, and may my will forever be, evermore, your own. any of you just want to say the name of someone that you feel really needs our prayers, or just a situation. It doesn't need to be an actual prayer, but just a word or 2 words. Maybe it's a country or a place. Maybe it's a person. Or you can just have that quiet time of prayer for yourselves. Shall we pray? Lord Jesus, as we go into a new year, we know that we personally will face many challenges. And there will be many around us that will face big challenges, new challenges. The world is ever changing. And unfortunately, it's not necessarily heading in the right direction at the moment. Please help to keep us strong and face those challenges with you beside us, so that we then have the strength to help others. And may whatever we go through and whatever we're experiencing enable us to help others and guide others. We're aware that so many people are unwell at the moment. We think particularly at the moment of Sadie and the family. We think of Alison and Carol. I'm sure there are many others. So if any of you have someone that you would like us to bring to prayer now is the time.
My Aunt Sally and the ulcers on her ankles.
Those who no fault of their own are in a war zone.
Stacey and her family.
All our families.
Pray for Sheila and Arthur.
Gemma Roots and her mum with cancer, Lord.
Lord, we bring all of these people to you at this moment. May they feel your loving arms around them. We thank you too for healing for those that we can see have had your loving arms around them, have had your healing hand upon them. We thank you that this afternoon Sylvia is here with us, and we thank you for her healing. So as we go out into the world this week, to whatever we have planned for the week, whatever is in our schedule, please open our eyes, show us the need, guide us as to how we should meet that need, and may we have your strength with us to bring your love and your light into our community. Amen. Shall we say together? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
On Syl's behalf, she would like to say a massive big thank you to all those who prayed for her. Not only those of us that are here, but those who are online as well. Hundreds and hundreds of people were praying. So thank you for that, and how wonderful it is that she's back with us again. Such a lovely surprise.
Okay, so we are going to sing Go Tell It on the Mountain. And I think this is so important, isn't it? It mustn't be a secret, must it, what God could do for you and what Jesus means to us. We've got to tell everyone. We've got to go out there and spread the word. And that doesn't just mean doing that. It's by how we are, how we behave, how we conduct ourselves, how we live our lives. People should be able to know that there is something a little bit different about us. Go tell it on the mountain. That should say it. I proofread it, but I didn't realise the T was missing. Sorry about that.
It missed for years.
That's my fault. And Salvation Army with no T. Could you imagine it? Now we just have two very short Bible readings, both taken from the Psalms. So the first one is from Psalm 5:8. Shall we read it together? Lead me, O Lord, in your righteousness, because of my enemies, make straight your way before me. And the next one, Michael. From Psalm 119, verse 105. So it's a little bit blurry, but hopefully you can read it. God will show me the way. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Never rely on what you think you know. And we'll come back to that a little bit later. I hope you're starting to see that this is all hopefully very positive and what we should all be doing for the new year. Follow, I will follow Jesus. Starting on a good, positive note. No, following Spurs, Arsenal or any of those might be nice, but it isn't really going to probably help you through life.
Well, by my day. Could be worse, could be Chelsea.
On Thursday, we have our coffee morning at 10 o'clock, hopefully, followed by a warm up, hopefully, which will involve serving a hot, simple, snacky lunch between 12:30 and 1:30. I only say hopefully because we're borderline with staff, but with some strong prayers, hopefully we'll be okay on Thursday. So, and then home league at 6:30 will be led by David. David will be doing all the pickup. So
not necessarily, that may change.
Well, all I can say
You will be picked up.
It's not a problem.
I was going to say, if you forget to get, if someone's missed it, make sure that David's remembered to pick them up.
Yes, remind him.
Okay, so home league at 6:30 on Thursday, and then Sunday our worship will be led at 6 o'clock by David. If you haven't had any newsletter, they're in the back. We will be over the next couple of weeks starting to bring in the fundraising in earnest for the new building project. So look out for that over the coming weeks, and exciting times ahead for the call. Anyway, you don't get out of the offering. Send Michael round with the basket.
Send it up, take it up.
Yeah, just send it up.
Pass it up.
Pass it up, and then they can send it across that way. That's the easiest way.
I'll pay Mr. Bannerman's. Oh, Tim.
If they do it right, Michael, you should be able to retrieve it over here.
Michael, just get the back over on that side.
I'll sit down.
I have started drawing out the big grid so you can buy a piece of land, a square of land. But it's taken me some time.
Why'd you put it in your
Something along those lines. Something along those
Quite frankly, with the way our voices are, I think that's... It could be called a crocathon.
Yeah, we can do a protocol. What about that?
Shall we pray? Lord Jesus, we are grateful for these gifts that have been given this evening. Please help us to use them wisely. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Right. Okay. So, here we go. The bit you've all been waiting for. So, we won't do this too quick. Just leave it a minute, Michael. So, 2002. 2002.
Can I point out who
You've got me to proofread it when I've been very ill. Right. So,
Add another 20 years.
listen, in our defence, what we thought was...
That's how long it felt like.
We've been getting the announcements right, haven't we?
So we've got to get it
So
right.
we thought we'll put in a little error here just to see if you noticed it. So well done, Michael.
It just felt like a long year.
So 2022 was, 2002 probably was a very busy year. But 2022 was a very busy year. Not without its challenges.
So was I.
And we would not be a corps without any of you. So, a big thank you to the whole team. We're going to go one picture at a time slowly.
Well, man.
Where are the pictures?
It runs.
It runs itself.
Oh, okay. Go on, click it then. Just look out for yourself on it. Try and remember to take photographs of all the things we get up to over the coming year, because we're not always very good at remembering to take a photograph, but we're so busy working that we forget. And I would like to point out, Heather was distributing those chocolates, not consuming them.
One for them.
However, how many of Pratesh's homemade samosas we actually consume between all of us is probably best not to be mentioned. So they were rather good. So thank you to everybody, and here's to a good and positive 2023. We know it's going to be challenging,
Be lovely.
but as a team, and as a corps, and as a corps family, we will work together, get through whatever challenges we face, hopefully meet the needs of the wider community and move closer towards getting our extension and our new kitchen and toilets so that we can serve the community around us even better.
Yeah.
So,
I can do it.
that's all very, very positive.
Right, isn't it?
So we're going to sing again. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
Never lie out, isn't it?
television how much children were singing it?
You see my problems?
Children are going to sing it now. Big children.
Well, that young lady.
a new year, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. But I haven't heard so many people saying that they've made New Year's resolutions this year. I just wonder whether that's because everyone knows the reality of the year ahead. It's going to be difficult. But perhaps more people are thinking, well, actually, you know what? I'm just going to resolve to try and get through each week. But I wonder, did any of you make a New Year's resolution? Or have you just not worried? No.
If I make the resolution not to go to the gym again, that'll be the 9th year running. So, well, yeah.
50
Well, I mean, I've set myself the idea of eating a balanced diet, so that's a burger in each hand. Balanced?
That's McDonald's.
Now, I don't make New Year's resolutions, but I do usually review everything. I do usually review everything, just to see if there's any changes that perhaps could be made to improve how we're doing things. And I'm not talking about here, I'm talking about at home. Because I do think it's wise to keep having a look at your finances and your diary and the structure of your week, and just see if there's something perhaps that you could change a little bit, just to perhaps improve your life, and of course how we are, who we are, the world around us, everything changes. So we need, in ourselves, we also need to be prepared to perhaps make changes. Now, last year, or at the beginning of last year, we said that David and I said, right, we're going to try to make sure that one weekend every month we have a couple of days where we try and set them aside to do things for us or for ourselves. And David said, we'll never manage it. That, of course, does include if we have some annual leave. Then if an annual leave falls in a month, then of course that's time for ourselves. Well, I'm very pleased to say, actually,
Mostly.
we did stick to it. The only month that we failed was December. And I'm afraid to say that the consequences of us pushing ourselves 24/7 in December are still with us today, because we both ended up very ill. So I think there's a message there. Now, don't laugh. For this year, we have written a list. And yeah, I've written a list on our behalf. Look, you know I like lists.
I know.
I reckon when I move on from here, I reckon whatever you decide you're going to do when I've gone, for me,
You're on the list.
you've got to write a list. If it ain't on the list. I've written a list of people that we need to make a bit of effort to catch up with. People that we've said, oh, we must go out for a meal with you. Some of these people we said this probably pre-pandemic to them. And we haven't been out for a meal with them. So, it's all right, Mr. Manley. You're on the list, I know.
You say nothing. I said nothing, baby. Do this, they call it.
But it's very hard for us because our lives are quite unpredictable, and we can try to make some space, but you know, if an emergency comes along, that has to come first.
Yep.
And I'm afraid to say the list fills one side of an A4 sheet. And it's not that we mean to do it, but time just goes, it just rolls on.
Don't worry, it's next door.
At the start of each year, I go through the diary and I put in all the standard things that we always do. So harvest and Christmas sales and things like that, they all go into the diary. Lunch clubs and so forth. All the core things. And then we try to, as far as we can, work things that we need to do around those. And as I've already said, there's no doubt that this year ahead is going to be challenging for everyone. It doesn't matter how old you are, whether you've got £1 in the bank, or whether you've got, as I saw, what was his name again? The guy from Queen's Clearwater Revival. David? Can you pay attention, please?
John.
What's his name? No, not John. But.
No.
What's his name?
Help me, somebody here. Come on.
Anyway, whatever his
John.
name is.
John.
He's worth $100 million because he wrote so much music. It doesn't matter if you've got $100 million in the bank or £1 in the bank. Realistically, we're all going to face the same challenges. Some things might be a little bit easier for some people, but actually, in particular, mental health, that doesn't care how much money you've got in the bank. That doesn't care. So we've got a lot to contend with. We can all make plans, but I think we've realised over the last couple of years we've got to be a bit flexible with those plans. And in fact, even this last week, due to various reasons, including health reasons, we couldn't open on Thursday. But regardless of what our situation is, what we have planned, the use of resolutions we've made, there is something really important that we must all do. We must keep the Lord in everything. In Psalm 3 it says, Lord, lead me as you promised me you would. Let's make this a daily prayer. Make this a daily prayer. Lord, lead me as you promised me you would. Don't go into your day blindly and alone, because it probably won't end very well. We need to ensure that we're receptive to where he directs us to go. It's no good starting with that prayer, say, right, I'm going to do that every day. That's what I'm going to ask. But then if you don't listen, or you say you disagree, or you half do what he asks you to do, that's not really any good. We have to listen and trust in what he says, in where he leads us. And then of course we add to that Psalm 119, your words are a flashlight. So this is from a different version, sorry. To light the path ahead of me and to keep me from stumbling. That's actually taken from the Living Bible. Setting aside any New Year's resolutions or plans for the year ahead, must-dos, all of these we may or may not adhere to. Can I suggest that actually, none of you have made any New Year's resolutions. So let's this evening do something together as a church family. Let's make sure that we set aside time every day to read God's Word and reflect, pray, listen. Our lives are so busy, so busy. But let's try and resolve to make sure that at some point in our day, whether it's halfway through the morning, when you maybe put the kettle on, make a cuppa, whether it's first thing, whether it's late afternoon, maybe you put the dinner on and then you've got a little while he cooks. Just take yourself into a quiet corner, and maybe instead of putting the TV on or whatever, go and spend that quality time with our Lord and Saviour. You don't have to read loads in here. It's always dangerous, as I've said before, if I get into Timothy, I read the whole lot. And then we'll probably end up with burnt dinner if the dinner's on. Just read the psalm. So much in the Psalms. But work your way through them. Just decide where you want to go or be led. But set that time aside every day. It's really important. But as well as doing that, make sure that you give yourself time to listen. Because it's no good going, right, I'm going to read that quick prayer, right, back out to the kitchen or whatever you're going to do. You've got to give yourself that quiet time to be receptive. If you put the two verses together from today's readings, you have the following. I know perhaps I could be criticised for doing this, but I'm trying to make a point that this is a good starting point for our year ahead. Lord, lead me as you promised you would. Your words are a flashlight to light the path in front of me and keep me from stumbling. The Lord will lead us, the Bible will guide us, but we must do our part. Pray, read our Bible, and listen. We're going to finish with one more step along the world I go. Keep me travelling along with you. shall we say this joint benediction? May the peace of God reign in this place,
and the love of God forever hold you tight. May the Spirit of God
flow through your life, and the joy of God uphold you day and night.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace. Amen.
Amen.
Big thank you to Suzanne for this evening. Good night. God bless you.